All right, we're live. All right, so guess we are getting started here. So welcome to another very exciting live stream here for the development of the facial rig based on facts for our project here, Bob, where we're going to be developing all the actions, the action stack, which is the tool necessary to rebuild this facial rig, and also the whole facial shape blend shape set for it to move. At the moment, we are already making some progress on the facial controls, and last time I was trying to develop the face controls with a different technique, something that is different from what's being done at the market, with the side panel where we can have all the controls always the same for all the characters. But this has some implications for our live stream purposes that I feel like it's better to have it on the face. So right now we have Bob waiting for us here to make a quick demonstration of what's going on his face. So let's check it out. Let's go, Bob. Are you ready? All right. So Bob is here with some of the controls already working. Fortunately, yesterday I was actually just checking out if it was possible to make this shapes work here and the controls work, and we got a initial test here, and that's what it's looking like at the moment. So for the head controls and the face controls, now we can control this little spheres here, and you can see that they through a parameter they then drive the face. We can also drive this other ones. Well, basically the head or the eyebrows and the eye basically is now controlled, but that's mostly it, and that's what we're going to be working today on, getting this first of all. Some of this process of connecting the shapes is still was still manual, just connecting to the blend shape target. So now we're going to figure that out and make these final connections, but you can see that we're already making progress. So also, first of all, let me get here my background removed, and then we're getting into the comment section where we have Amash here. Welcome, Amash. How's it going, man? He says that he missed yesterday's streams as it was super early in the morning for me, and I totally understand. As usual, it's a different time for everyone in the world, and it's not to be expected that anyone would be able to be here every time. But I'm very happy that you're interested on the topic, and yeah, so let me see here. What else do we got? I guess we gotta say hi to Bob here anyways, right? So you're starting to move. I guess we can have even a better chat with you now, Bob, on the scene, which is where you're actually moving, but you're looking good today. All right, so here we are. And that's what we have right now. So let's begin to roll back then and figure out now the last stages of this. So at the moment, these controls are building by on its own, and the way it is working is it is using the template system that we created here. This is the template system, right? It's using the positions from this template system or templates, when I say system, but it's just a joint set, right? So it is using this joint set here to then position the controls. And by the way, right away, I remembered something. So I want to take this out of the joint, out of the root joint right now, just so that I can make an adjustment here. So this joint, so you can see that all controls are on the scene right now because I was just running it and testing it. So I decided to also connect it. But we can see that this is going to change really soon. So I'm going to get the root joint here. Then I need my skeleton here. And what I want to do then is to place this joint here on the same spot as the head joint, because we will probably store them separately, but when we decide to finally export and import, or work on another character, what's going to happen is we're going to use this joint position here to match the root, the head joint. So once we are back, we're bringing it back, we're going to make sure that this is in the same spot. And this is an easy way to position it on the same spot every time. So with this in place, then you can see it's a little clustered, but this is not going to be visible anyway. So the whole point here is just to create some positions for us to build these controls automatically. So you can see that this is how the controls will be working. And the way that they work is they are just running on this curve here based on the parameter of the curve. So technically we should be able to also move this curve as we wish, and the control is still stuck to it. And also, even if we move it, we still get the same animation on the control, as you can see there. So this will then be added into a face control or something, like probably there will be another control that is just like the entire face or around the face, and we still have other controls to add here, but this is going to be added real soon. So yeah, let's keep moving here. The action stack is still not open, so let me get to my tab here, open the action stack. So yeah, that's the plan for today, to get this whole system here automated and probably added into the face. So right now it is a utility here, or a pre-built utility, which doesn't even make sense at the moment, but it's just what it is. But just for the sake of showing what it is doing, let's delete all the controllers. We're gonna lose like animation and this kind of stuff, but it is all good. All I need right now is to demonstrate, and I can always open the file again. So as long as we have the template here for the controls, we're then able to run this command here, and it should bring us, so this is already the controls again, built from scratch. They have no animation at the moment, of course, because we deleted it, but it's building back. Let me see if we are able to undo this, or if it's going to undo one by one. And it seems like it's going to undo one by one. So better to just reload the scene. It's probably going to be a little heavy, but that's all good. Oh, I made a modification to the scene and I didn't save. That's awesome. But it doesn't matter. It was a simple thing. But anyways, hope you guys are doing great. And we're going to get another step into this project here. So yeah, we're back now. What we need to do is, first of all, find a way to specify which of this. So we have our shapes here connected, and some of them are connected to the head, the eyebrows, and basically the eyebrow controls. Some of them are on a keyframe, or the animation driven key. They are attached to driven keys driven by the eyes here, as you know. So some of those shapes are driven by the eye. And then we need to add another set of controls for these guys here, like lid tightener, well, a few of there are many other here that needs to be added. And also we need to add another set of shapes here, some that are missing. So there's still a lot of work to do, but what we need is to standardize the name of the shapes so that we also know which shape will be connected to each control. Right now they have the naming, but I'm not sure that we're gonna keep all of these guys here. So one of them actually I know that is even on the, it's written on, like I have a misspell on its name. And that's another thing that I need to correct. And to make sure that all the naming is correct. Let's see if it still works. And then probably just adjust this shapes, make sure that they are as natural as possible. With this shape here, one of the problems is that the eyelids have the maps of the eyes open. So we have the option to bring in the maps from the eyes closed, and that should give us a better deformation on the eye here, because you can see that a lot of it is related to the normal map and the color map. So if you saw it just on the gray here, you can see that, of course, it's not the same thing, but you can see that the eyes closed is not, there's not that weird crease on the middle. That's 100% related to the maps here. So the maps for the eyelids closed then needs to be blended and connected to the controls as well, so that we have it running. All right, so let's keep going. So first of all, I believe that these guys here, they are correct, although we still have the same issue of not having the exact proper name for this joints here. So it would be interesting to correct that. But for that, I need to double check the names of all of the facial shapes here. The mouth ones especially. Jaw drop, lips part. So we still need to add like nostril dilator and many other shapes. Blink, wink. Swallow, chill. Head up and down. Yeah, so I'm just checking out the names of the shapes that I still need to insert. Lip pucker is also one that needs to go in. All right, so let's begin making some movements here. So we have the shapes, they have a lot of keyframes on it. So I guess that the best way to go about this, I will then export this as a template. Let me also check the code here. I don't remember on the appearance. So something changed here. I'm just gonna increase the font size a little bit so that we can all see better. So first of all, I'm going to check how I'm importing the skeleton template here. So this is the utilities. I actually need the rig here. Oh no! Sorry guys, I probably clicked the numpad here. I have to acquire. I'm still on the process of acquiring a proper system here to control this setup, but we probably need like a dedicated sort of like a Elgato thing to control this cameras. Build face controls. No, this is not it. Okay, so rig import skeleton. So here's the skeleton folder for file and import file list. What do you mean file geo? I think I duplicated this and forgot to change it. Okay, so this is not correct. Oh, I see. So what I'm doing here is just finding a way to like get all the nodes that are coming with the file so that we can then reparent it. And then we're parenting it to the skeleton group. So parent top node list. So we're getting the top nodes of all of them, and it's fine. I'll just change the name then. Yeah. So I mean, as far as I am. Okay, so let me see. Create global control. That's fine. We're gonna use like I have hard coded, and then yeah, the root joint. It's fine as well because we're getting the actual root joint. So I think that we can then export this into this template skeleton group. So I'm just searching here for which folder are we referring inside of the system to get the skeleton. Skin cluster, template, rig skeleton, rig template and rig skeleton. That's a good point now. So what I'm thinking is just which one should we, this is the utilities, this is not what I need. Project. Add controls to skeleton. So I am importing the skeleton right here, and it's from the actual rig folder. So import template geo, import rig template. But why do I need a rig template then? That's the question. Is it even up? I think I removed it. Yeah, import rig template. Yeah, I think it's all good then. So if it's here, but maybe I don't have anything on the folder. So yeah, just recapping what we have on the some assets, rig, template. There's nothing on the folder. That's why. Okay, so we can probably then just export this as a rig template. Let's make sure also that I am referring to the correct thing. I also don't like the camel case there. I'm going to remove it right now. I could do it later, but from experience, when you leave it to do it later, you're probably going to not come back. Okay, so I'm just checking here. Connect eye shapes to controls. That's fine. It's actually, I need to go where I'm creating this controls. So it's probably after this action. Build face controls, that's what it is. So you can see that to create that face controls, it's actually pretty simple. Face controls, I don't. Template joint. Yeah, if we're gonna have to do camel case, at least let's have it as like a full thing. Okay, so this is just a template system, so it doesn't even matter all that much, but we have to export it. So I'm gonna export selection. So at the moment, some of these processes are still manual, right? So this is going to be a face controls, templates, joints. Right, so we have this work here saved, and we might as well then just rerun the action stack and see what happens. So now what it's going to do is it's going to rebuild the entire system. Hopefully it will already have the joint template, the control templates on the screen here when we get back. Yeah, cool. So as you can see, it did work. It has imported back. Oh, but weird. Why? Huh. So weird. I'm sure I exported the version where this joint was in the center here, but it seems to have brought up. is actually renamed correctly. So what should I even think about with this? Have I changed the pivot but not the... So weird. Let's go again. There gotta be a reason for that. Yeah, it's actually changing the position, so I don't know why it happened, but let's try it again. So weird. Okay. Let's export it and override this. Oh, I also have to unparent it, otherwise it's going to bring everything that is above it with it. Okay, so we should be able to rerun this and see what happens. Okay. All right, so we got, I have no idea why that happened, but it did work now, so that's fine. They are all on the correct position. That means now that we can easily rebuild it. So if I hit like build face controls, I do need to reload the action stack because I had changed the name there. So now we can easily rebuild it. So that's pretty much something that could be inside the action stack or like the face rig build. And to be honest, this is what we're gonna do now. Let's make it happen. Because we also need to make sure that all of these controls that are created here go inside of some group inside of the action stack. Otherwise, they're just gonna be floating, and that's not what we want. So then even if we need to make any changes or adjustments to these controls, at least they're going to be building with the action stack. And the controls also need a different coloration that I have to add on the code. So right now they're all yellow. I'll probably have them as like blue on or red on the left side and blue on the right side so that we can have a good differentiation. And also then a oh, weird. Oh, I can see a problem right now already. Okay, no problem. Okay, so let's transfer this then to the, so this is complaining because it could be just a static method. That's fine. That's actually good because I know that I can easily move it without having any headaches. So I'll just copy first and comment, and I'll leave a copy of this here just in case. Then let me see on the action stack, where do we want to make this happen? So probably after import control shapes or create neck module, create global control, add base skeleton controls. Yeah, I don't know which order should, like, what would be the utmost best for this particular application, but import, create global, add controls to skeleton, and then constrain skeleton to controls. I guess I'll then just add it after this guy here, because the control thing. So I'll register this method then, and then I'd say build face controls. Pretty simple. And also, I forgot, so when it is a build method, I'm usually adding like an underscore, so that means that I'll have to change it there. And for now, like, right now, I believe it will work already. So if we reload it, we should get what we are looking after, but it is not going to do anything. Yeah, I don't know if I should delete the template or just hide it. I'll just hide it at the end, just for now. The name, root. Right, so it should be able to, whoa. What have I done? Oh yeah, on the pre-build now I have registered. So now I need to remove this guy from this place. Let's just turn off those two methods and let's build it again. We should see actually the exact same thing as we're watching here on the screen. Yep. Nice. Works. Great. So now it's fully rebuilt, or the controls are rebuildable now, which is great that they're all working. But as you can see, there's no connections here or anything like that. There's just the standard rig. So now we're going to start to refine these guys. So first thing that I'm going to do is just add these guys into a group or something like that. And I have to think, how am I going to do this actually? Control group. So I could have this parented to the head, but I'm not really sure. And also I need to change the shape, the names of the shapes here. So let's go for this first. Let's start to make this thing a little better. And since that is building, I can then get rid of this. Let's not leave any trash behind. Okay, so here we are, build face controls. So I am creating that curve from A to B, but here create curve. I'm just going to add this to this part here because this function here is creating the curve from A to B, which is basically this thing here. So by providing two locators or pointers, like the two joints on the beginning and the end, we're then able to build this curve here from A to B. So that's all it is doing, this function here. So what I'm going to do then is have like a mc.list relatives, and then I'm going to get this bridge curve here, and I'm going to get the shapes, and that's going to be equals true, and I want the first item of the list, and then what I want is just to what's wrong there? Why is it complaining? Why? Oh, I see. So I'm calling it, I'm not assigning it to any variable. So bridge curve shape. Okay, cool. So now I can do like mc dot rename, and then it's going to be bridge shape curve, and we're going to call it the name that we gave to the curve. So the curve is going to be bridge curve plus shape. So that should give us what we're looking for right now. Let's see if it works. So basically what I'm doing to that function is just correcting, because now it says the name of the curve is it's correct, but the curve shape is just curve shape 1, and that's no bueno, right? And it sounds like Facebook is off, unfortunately. That's a shame, actually. Yeah, the API is still down. So we had this major outage on Facebook today for the entire day, and apparently still didn't get back. Okay, so it works. Just checking one piece of information here. Okay, so it rebuilds, it's correct. So we have now the... We just need to figure out what to do with these curves now, which are in world 0. And by the way, do I want them to be in world 0? That's a good question. Do I need to set the pivot? I don't know if that it would matter anyways, but we might be better off. Let me see the floating controls here. What have I done with them? Okay, so I'm just looking at some, checking some music here. So let me see if we can have a little bit of a upbeat music here. Yeah, so this control, for example, is completely off the game. It is just parented to the... So I can or cannot have it inside of the head control, which would be this guy here. So let's see what happens here if we do it. Sort of annoying to select all of them like this, but... And then I'll throw these guys here into the module and let's see how it looks. Also, it became yellow just because it is inside of that. That's pretty bananas. I think these guys are inside of that as well, so. Okay. But let's see if it works though. Yep. So we should be able to use this to of course this color is not ideal. But that's that it seems like it works, right? So we can have like this is the global control. So let's begin by separating this information. Let's go one step at a time. So we have the curve, and then so first thing we need to create like a list. So it's going to be rail curve list. That's a list. So after the curve is created, I'm just going to append it. So that we can then handle it outside of the loop. And then the controls as well, I'm going to have to append. So either I have a dictionary or a list here. Let me think, because I could have like one related to the other, but also it's not like crucial that I do. Also, Amash is saying, sorry Amash, I just saw your message. Not sure if it was a long time ago. Yeah, the system, apparently at least on Restream, it says that Facebook is up on the website, but the actual API that it uses to connect to Facebook, it's still not up, still not back up. So who knows? I know that I'm not being able to stream to Facebook right now. Right, so we have the curve, so we have then, let's say control object list. Yeah, I heard it. Well, we all lived it today. So I'm actually saying that there was a major outage today. Yeah, and it was such a big outage that we all lost it. I'm curious what happened. Like what was such a gigantic explosion like this that caused something like this. Okay, so we have created the controls, so now let's go and just parent it to the whatever group we need to parent it. So I'm just thinking here if there's any way we can, because I'm constantly referring to this controls as, or I'm doing many things like hard coded here. And if it ever happens that I need to change some sort of like naming structure or naming pattern, what's gonna happen is that we're gonna have to rework a lot of stuff or be banging our heads on the table to figure out before we do it. So I don't know. It would be great if we didn't need to do this, but I'm just gonna say like to the I'll get my my curve list, so rail curve list. I'll parent it into the head control. Is it that simple? Yeah. Controls itself will also I also need to figure out, because for example, we don't have an indication for center controls. Right now we have the left and right, like L and R, but we don't have a center indication, which is, it's questionable whether we need it or not. Some places do it, some places don't. But the fact is that if we have the CT, you don't have to guess, right? We always know that whatever is R is right, whatever is left, and then whatever is center is center. And the fact that there's a difference in the naming pattern, it could be a problem. All right, so let's see then. First, let's test one thing at a time. Let's first parent these guys here and see how they're gonna behave. I'm thinking if it's going to break anything. Let's see. Yeah, no problems. It is parented into the head. But the rails are yellow, so that's, I don't know about it. But the fact that we can control it with the head, it's an important thing that needs to happen. So it's either that or we have to have it, I don't know, like bind it to the head. Which I don't know how good it is anyways. Oh, the controls are inverted. I just realized this. So this is also something to consider. Hmm. Okay, so we're gonna figure out one thing at a time. So the fact that this is getting yellow is not exactly good. And as a matter of fact, the fact that it is not a object is also it also bothers me because okay, so I'm just thinking here, how am I going to how am I going to handle these curves? And I'm feeling like we're going to do a move here. Let's see. I'm just commenting it. Control template. I need to change a few names here first. And also make it look proper. Control template join, just so that it all makes sense. So then I'm going to do mc dot group mc dot group. Should I parent it? Should I not? Let me see how am I calling also the controls on top of my current controls. It's just group. Help me out with the song here, friend. All right. Thank you. Just a little bit heavy. Yeah, so you can see that we have all of those curves here parented to, like, without a group on top of it. That's not exactly ideal. So let's make it ideal then. So the name will be AB curve plus underscore group. So this is what I don't like about this, the fact that we're coding like names like this, you know, hard coded. That's a recipe to disaster. Okay, so the group is created. Now I'm going to do mc.match or match position. Identity. Match transform. And I also need to get this group here. So AB curve. Let's call it offset group as well. And then let's just parent this AB curve. Then to AB. into the AB curve offset group. That should give us what we want. And then we can parent instead of parenting the group, instead of parenting the curves, we should parent the offset. Okay, so let's see what happens then. Let's rerun this action stack and we should get oh, it crashed. That's because it didn't append anything, so okay. Right, it works. Okay, we have the groups here. Hmm. Okay, so watch position. Let me check here if this match transform, if you can handle pivots. So my Python, let me bring it in here. Match. Awesome. So even better. Easy peasy. So we are able to match the transform here. So we have the shape. Second thing I'm going to do is just do So we're gonna match the pivot. That should put the pivot of the curve on the same position as the group. So that should zero out the position. So what happens right now is that we have the curve, but because we added a group on top of it, we have like a non-zeroed out position. So now we need to bring the pivot off to the same position here, and then we're gonna have a zeroed out curve. It's built. Let's see if it works. Yeah, the pivot is here. Oh, we also have to make identity. So we'll make identity of the transforms. I don't think there's any rotations on the curve. Yeah, so it's just a transform. So AB curve, it's make transforms on the. Let's go to the documentation again. So my Python make identity. So translate. Let's apply equals true. All right, guys. So we're making some progress here. Approaching 1 hour. Yeah, it's all good. Can go a little more. Let's go to 12 o'clock today. So I guess it's. Hey, Pushkar, is it Pushkar? I hope I'm saying it correctly. How's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. We are working here on some face rigging. Okay, so it didn't actually work. Why? I think that I have to make identity after. We're working on this face controls just so that we can then fully focus on just getting the facial shapes done. So after we're done with this facial or this face controls, we're going to be able to just add and connect the facial shapes, and that should make it a 100% fluid process that is going to guide us to hopefully to the end of this process. Yeah, cool. So now we have the curves zeroed out with the pivot on. So right now it's yellow though. I didn't want it to be yellow, but we have to reset the color. So this is something that is bothering me. Like there gotta be a way to do it, like a better way to do it. I would I would probably just add this into like like I have a function or a class that is able to handle curves like this, but I don't know if it's able to like absorb a new curve, only handle the curves that it already has stored on the memory. So I gotta check it. So let's see, TP control. Yeah, okay, so this is the shape library. The control is actually important from the shape library, which is good. And why do we have this nonsense? So I'm just checking if there's a way I can handle, because the problem right now is all of the controls are being handled by a class, except for this line thing here, which is not a huge problem, but it's also outside of the scheme of things. So it's harder to keep control of it. For example, simple things like setting the color, the class does very well. I could do on this line as well, but it's not the case. So, but anyways, that's added. So I just need to handle now adding these controls to some other folder here. I would assume I would group them in like face. So we have the regroup. We should have like a no X form group here. I don't know that it needs to be under the. As a matter of fact, if it is under the global group, it's just going to double. It's not necessarily going to double transform because it's like attached, but okay. So let's then. I think that the best possible way would be like face shapes control. That would be. I don't know if it needs to be a shapes control group. Yeah, let's call it face shapes control group, and then if you have extra controls that are, yeah, let's do it right like this right now. I don't want to solve this problem right at exactly at the moment, so I'm going to create a new group here. It's going to be called, so let me get another music album here. Let's see if we have something cool. Okay, so then let's just create like a face control group equals to mc dot group, and then it's going to be, yeah, actually you wouldn't even need the, but anyways. So I have the, I'm just thinking here now, I have the control names or the control objects. The object is being parented. I'm gonna have to create a list for that as well. I don't want to have to do it afterwards. Let's then append this, guys. Then it should be able to do like name, face controls, group, and parent this into the control group. So now where is the control group reference here? Root group. Yeah, I'm just checking out here. This is the guy that we need. At least this one is in a variable. Okay, so this should clean our scene. So right now what we're doing is we have this face controls that we are creating, and I'm organizing them through the code and just adding them into like a, it should be the proper folder, but right now it almost feels like it is a provisory folder because, yeah, so you can see that it's gone. Awesome. But I'm not 100% sure if they're gonna stay there. What's important is that they should be working, and also they should be following the head. So it's all good. Yep. So now the fact that they are all yellow, that's nuts. That's not what I want, but that's what we have right now. So, so they are organized. Now we are able to so we already have the code to connect the eye controls to the eye shapes. That's fine. Now we still need to. So first of all, the control template also need a few adjustments still, because this is a problem here. The fact that all of these controls are on the same spot. So let's check that out. Let's see if it works the way we expect it to. What we are going to do then is like we're gonna go to the rig group and to the skeleton group or rig template, and we have this template here. So we just need this guy, and you can see that all of these joints here, they are on the same spot, so that's not viable for us. We need them to be separated. So I'm pretty sure this is going to create like a pretty dense area on the mouth corner. I don't know if that's going to be viable as well, but let's start with that, and then we check on the next on the next step how can we make this better. Yeah, so that's probably not ideal, but let's see how it goes. So then what I would like to test also is like, what can we do to mirror this? Let's see if it's going to work with the skeleton. So just come here with the skeleton and then mirror joints. Should be left, right, should be good. Oh, what? Why Z? Why Z? Mirror across YZ? That's a good question. So it seems like it worked, but it also just not worked. Also, it created like a new one. Wow. As long as it's correct, it's correct. Oh, I see. So it totally 100% mirrored it. So it doesn't look good for us. across XY. Yeah, I see what's the point here. So it complicates so much. No, thank you. Yeah, okay, so I'm learning a few things here that are a potential issue, but shouldn't be that much of a problem. Then it didn't change like the naming. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, so just making a few last corrections here to the naming, and we should be good to go now. Now let's rebuild and see if we got the proper thing. Right, it seems like it works. Cool. So we now have all the controls separated on the corner of the mouth. It's not actually terrible, so we have pretty good visuals of the individual muscles there. The colors need to be changed, but we can do that easily. At least we can pick up exactly what we need here. Oh, just the mentalis. Oh no, I think we lost the mentalis here. We sure did, didn't we? Ah, damn you, mentalis. Ah, moleque, olha aí o cara, velho. Man, mano, Daniel Luna is in the house. How's it going, man? So we are doing some facial rigging here now. Almost on the way to finish. Estamos terminando aqui os controles para o rosto e aplicando aqui no script. E tá funcionando, cara. Quer ver exclusivamente? Exclusively, so this is a Brazilian friend of mine that let me get back here into a Brazilian friend of mine that studied with me in Vancouver Film School. Not that there's anybody watching now, Daniel, but we can always leave this for later. Let me export this. So we do have mentalis, template, joint. So let me save this so that we can move on quickly here. I want to show you the working. E aí, vamos fazer uma live junto aí? Bora fazer uma interview aí, ou uma. Cada um trabalhando no seu projeto. So I'm going to open here the latest demo that I had. hold on while it opens here. All right, so this is the latest application. So what happens is we have the we have the controls now working with the blend shapes. I was just on the other scene. I'm working to add them into the code. So right now I have all of them on the scene here on this scene that I've saved. So the next step now is to have them connecting all through code, right? So the rig is working with basically driving the blend shapes right now, but it is starting to take shape. Now I need to move on into the mouth shapes, but yeah, that's the point here now. And then that's it. So I'm going to continue then, and I will be soon leaving, like in a couple of minutes, not more than 3 minutes or so. But yeah, we can actually close this episode then. I am actually tired. It's going to be midnight now. So let me get here into the finishing room. So that's it. Wow, got it. Thanks everyone that participated today. Thanks for Daniel here, my friend, for stopping by and actually participating with us. Absolutely not necessary, but I'm happy that to have some warm fuzzy feelings from friendship coming, that people that come here and help me keep up with this work. And we're going to on the next. So today, what we did is we got the controls of the face built and added to the code in a way that it's being organized and sent into the root or the actual rig groups. And now the next step is to actually start connecting them to the blend shapes. So we also need to have them the shapes being imported into our shapes editor automatically on the actions the action stack, the build script, and then connecting everything, and that should give us the output that we are looking for. And we're then going to be able to move to the last step, which is to scope this mouth shapes, and hopefully end this rig once and for all. The next step will then be go for the faceware and do the thing where we're going to drive the rig with our own face. Cool. So that's it. Daniel's in the house. All right, man. See you soon. Cheers.